Okay, it is bright and early in the morning. I'm out here feeding the chickens and doing the morning chores, and I wanted to stop and tell you guys what was going on. The nasty neighbor has struck yet again. Yesterday, the neighbor that has the 50 chickens came over here, knocked on my door, and said, "Hey, have you checked your mail yet?" It was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Of course, I've not checked my mail yet. He said, "I got a letter from a lawyer regarding my chickens. Maybe you need to check yours." I checked mine, and lo and behold, I have a letter. It's an official letter of notice from a lawyer saying that her and several other neighbors, nobody else is named, but her and several other neighbors, demand that I comply to the restrictions, and I have 30 days to remove my chickens and any buildings that house the chickens, even though this was here beforehand. I just converted the inside. I didn't change anything about the appearance of the outside of it, but they demand that we remove it. Otherwise, she will give us ample time, but if we've not responded in 30 days, she will bring up suit against us to try to prevent us from having the chickens. She doesn't even want me to have the garden, but like I said, when I said something about the garden, her response was, "Well, I can't do anything to stop you doing that." To say that I'm upset is like a mild understatement, because I thought this was all done with and past, because it has been so long since she has said anything or done anything, but apparently not. Apparently the chickens are still an issue. She actually even told him that I was doing this commercially. Right now, I gave 2 chickens to my nanny. So as of this very instant, I have 12 chickens. 12 chickens. I'm commercial. So I pretty much informed the lawyer. And the funny part is I called this lawyer, and I was like, his name sounds familiar. And he and I start talking, and I was like, I don't want issues with this woman. I do not. I said, I've known her for a while from a distance. I was like, because I bought the house from a guy that goes to church with my former boss before I became a stay-at-home. He was my boss. I said, I bought the house from someone who goes to church with him, someone who uses him as a veterinarian. I worked with veterinarians for years. And I said, and so I knew her because she only uses this certain doctor. And he said, "Oh, what doctor is it?" So I told him, and he goes, "Oh." Then it clicked. Me and him, we know each other. I used to babysit or, watch his dog in the kennel. I'm a fan of his dog, who's now passed away, sadly, but he recognized who I was. And he said, "I had no clue that this was you when I sent this." So we kind of got to talking. He was very sweet. He always has been, but he was very sweet. And he informed me that, he will tell her of how I felt, and advise her going forward. But he would also call me, or he would send me a letter to let me know of her decision. We talked about doing a petition, but most of my neighbors are, even though they're fine with us having the chickens, nobody cares that we have them other than her. But nobody wants to get involved, was the response. We don't want to get involved. But what they're failing to realize is that when I spoke to the lawyer, in order for her to come after me for chickens and Jack for his chickens, she actually has to have a surveyor come out. And this surveyor is going to check everybody's property. Everybody. If they have so much as one violation in those regulations, as minute of a detail as it's going to be, they're going to be brought in on the lawsuit. And I know that there's at least 2, because I've been reading the things and looking at it. There are 2 people also in this neighborhood that are going to be brought into this lawsuit if she continues moving forward with it. I don't think that they've realized this, but nobody's willing to do the petition thing. I honestly don't know what we're going to do. I feel like it's going to end up being something like, I don't know. I feel like she's Hitler, and I'm going to have to hide my babies. I'm literally to the point that I'm probably going to hide them. In which I told him that too. I said, "Do you want me to take them in the house? I mean, they could be house pets. I'll put them in cages and stick them in the house at night. Let them out during the daytime. Then they're house pets. There's nothing she can do about it." Of course, he laughed at me. He was like, "If you can tolerate the smell." But no, I'm literally considering hiding them on my property and getting some no-crow collars for the boys so that they can't crow. I don't know what else to do, because the idea that my babies who have just started laying eggs, who are right now trying to touch my phone, stop it, who are touching the phone as I'm recording because they're nosy, and they greet me, they come to me when they're called. I mean, the idea that I'm going to have to give them all up, all my hard work is going to come to an end. And not only that, not just the work aspect of it, but the fact that I'm being told how I can live my life on my own property. The property that I purchased, the property that my husband works 3rd shifts at a factory, 50 hours a week, just to provide for us to have this. I'm being told, you can't use it like that, and I'm going to stop you. Again, I've said this in the previous video, I cannot fathom why I should be dictated to how I live and want to live my life. I want to provide eggs for my children. The other guy, she actually gave him permission. He told the lawyer that too, that she's been eating his eggs. He got permission from her to do that. He actually has a neighbor that's next to him that is technically not in the subdivision. So what he plans to do is, if she continues and, he has to remove them, he's literally going to move them 10 feet over into the neighbor's property, and then there's nothing she can do about it. And the best part is she will actually, well, good Lord, then the chickens will actually be closer to her property than they were when they were on his. So, I don't know. Give me some suggestions, guys. Tell me what you think I should do. We do not, before you ask or suggest it, we do not have the money for a lawyer. No way, no how. If it comes down to her suing me to where I would have to pay out money, I will have to get rid of the chickens or hide them in my house or do something, because there's no way that I can afford it. So you guys give me some suggestions. What do you think I should do? Where should I go from here? Because I don't want to lose my loony. I don't want to lose my loony bird. I don't know what else to do. So I hope you guys can help me out. Give me some suggestions. Tell me something. And more than anything, if you can't help me out, if you can't tell me, here's a suggestion, this is what I think you should do, pray for me. Pray for our house. Pray for our family, that the attack against our homestead, our way of life, will stop. That we can move forward. That we can continue to keep our birds without being harassed. So, love you guys. Hope you have a good day. See you later.